So I just got back from seeing my oncologist, and God gave me an analogy on the drive back that I want to share with you. So in my oncologist visit, he was just amazed by how I wasn't experiencing any side effects from the new medication that I've been taking. To God be the glory. And on the drive back, I was just really thinking about my cancer journey and how God can use a situation, a storm, a trial, a scary thing like cancer, and use it to be a blessing. And I say that because of cancer, God has been able to use it to not only change me and bless me, but use that situation, use cancer to be a blessing to those around me. Strengthening my marriage, and not only drawing me closer to Christ, but drawing my wife closer to Christ, and drawing us closer together too as well. And God using us collectively as a couple to be a blessing to others. Doing these videos, Christians battling cancer, and putting them on Facebook and YouTube, and I see the comments that you guys put underneath, and they just encourage me and are a blessing to me that God can use me to encourage you in your cancer journey or whatever it is that you might be going through. So it's amazing just to see God work, and God gave me this analogy as I was driving back home from my oncologist visit. Our cancer journeys, our trials and storms, is similar to baking a cake, right? In all of us, we all have different talents, abilities, skills, and things like that God has blessed us with. And in a cake, in order to bake a cake, you need ingredients, right? You might need vanilla, you need sugar, you need eggs, you need flour. You need these things in order to make a cake. And same thing with our skills and abilities. We all have skills and abilities. And when you make a cake, you have to put those ingredients into a bowl, right? And in our situation, the bowl is Jesus. It's his hand. He's holding all the ingredients. And just like in a cake, you need a bowl to put all the ingredients in, right? So you put all the ingredients in a bowl, and then you begin to mix them together. And God the Father is the baker, right? So he's mixing us together, and in our cancer journeys, in the trials and the tribulations that we have, the process of making this cake, the process that we have to go through, whether it's cancer or another trial or whatever it may be, we don't like the process. It's a difficult process, but we have to go through that process in order to have the final product, in order to have that cake, in order to prepare us for our purpose, right? So God the Father is mixing the ingredients together. He's mixing us together. He's mixing up. He's allowing the trials and tribulations and the cancer to happen in our lives, and Jesus is there, the bowl. He's holding us together. He's there with us in the trials. He's there with us in the cancer journeys. And in the mixing, it's strengthening our faith. It's drawing us closer to Him. And after the mixing is done, then you have the batter, right? The batter is made, but the cake isn't done yet. So God the Father, the baker, has to then now pour the mix into a pan, right? And Jesus is the pan. He's still holding us. He's still there, with us. And many times in our trials or tribulations, in our cancer journeys, sometimes the situation gets worse before it gets better. And it's just like a cake, the mixing was difficult enough, but now you have to be put into the fire. Again, Jesus is still with us. He's the pan. He's the pan. We're the mix in the pan. Jesus is still with us, and going into the oven, going into the fire, just like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that they went to the fiery furnace, but Jesus is with them. Jesus is with us in the oven, in our situation. When it gets worse, Jesus is still with us in the fire, and God the Father is still looking in the oven. Are they done yet? Nope. Are they done yet? Nope. He's still looking, just to make sure that the cake, or that we are not overbaked or underbaked, that He takes us out at the right time. And this process is so necessary for us to prepare us for the purpose, the plan that God has for us. And again, when we are poured into the pan, Jesus, right? we begin to mold that mix begins to mold into the shape of the baking pan, so that when we come out, we are just the shape, we are just like the pan. The same thing for our cancer journeys or the trials and tribulations in our lives. God takes us through that process so that we can become more like Jesus, so that when we come out of the oven, now we can be a blessing to others. So just like a cake, when the cake is done, you can slice it up and serve it to others and satisfy their hunger and be a blessing to others. And the same thing in our lives, when God takes us through the process, takes us through the cancer, takes us through whatever we're going through, takes us out of the oven. Again, Jesus is still with us. Now because of that process, we're more like Christ. And then now, God can now use us to be a blessing to others. He can use our testimony to share with those others and encourage others, or whatever our purpose is. He can use us now that we've gone through the process. So be encouraged. Now, whatever it is you're going through, whatever it is if you're in your cancer journey or you're going through something else, again, Jesus is with us, and God's got a plan. He's got a purpose. All things work together for good, Romans 8:28, even though we may not be able to see it at the time. When we come out of it, when we come out of that trial that God's put us through, we can look back and say, that's what you were up to, God. That's where you were up to. So I pray this encourages you, and may God speak through me to you. If you've been diagnosed with cancer, you're in your cancer journey, feel free to join our cancer support group on Facebook, where we all just support, pray for each other, encourage each other through our cancer journeys. Go to www.cbc.support. It'll take you straight there, or there might be a link somewhere around here. If you're watching this on Facebook, go ahead and join. It's an amazing group where God's just doing amazing things in us and in the group too as well. And hey, remember to like this video, share this video with your family and friends, and like this page or subscribe to this page too as well. All right, everyone. God bless.